Bonjour aujourd'hui. Je suis un touriste. Et nous sommes en Arras. Il fait du soleil aujourd'hui, non? Oui. Here we have in Arras, the best toilet in France. There's Jesus giving you the finger. I've eaten a great deal quicker than Eddie's eaten. I'm amazed you've eaten so slowly, actually. We're sitting in a cafe in Arras, and I have amazed myself, and I managed to actually hold a conversation in French. Not a great one, but without any English at all. And I'm doing quite well. Even Eddie's been impressed by the standard of my French. He didn't actually know what I was saying about him to the waiter. But, you know, he's not going to either, to be honest. That's a secret. And the waiter did laugh. Now, had I been feeling more brave, I might have actually got Eddie to film me speaking French, but we decided not to because it would have been laughable. So we had a good meal. It was slightly expensive, but it was a fairly good meal. And we've got just over 20 minutes before we have to be back at the coach and then move on to Alfer, which is the Somme, because we're not in the Somme yet. That's another hour or so away. Long journey. But just bringing you out to a little square here to show you the cathedral in Arras, which is pretty damn amazing. Have a look at this. Crazy thing. That massive building wasn't the cathedral at all. That was a hotel. Can't even see the cathedral. Maybe it's disappeared in a magic Gallic way. We're now simply just walking down a side street that links us back to the main square-ish sort of area. That's a man farting. It's the French style of farting. It's a rapid succession of gaseous explosion. It means that you enjoyed the fart and you wish to do it again. Speak French, Eddie.
Je voudrais Rome.
You would like the Rome. You'd like a museum? On the Inn Divina.
وذا حفظته عند فدا سمعت الألباني.
Here we are back in the main square part again. And I need a wee. See, if I was French, I'll be saying I need a yes, which would be quite bizarre, wouldn't it? Yeah, there we are, back in the main square. And the coach is down there somewhere. Or should be. He's not left without us. 20 to 1, that's cool.
How are we supposed to be at half past?
No, I think he said 22. We'd be back at 22. Oh, there he is. There's our coach down there. We have exactly the same guide as we had when we went to Ypres. Well, we, and I. And all... Yeah, same guy. And all scary shit. What's going on down there? This is where we put the Catholics.
first time in Albert? Yes, for everybody? So do you know a little about World War One? Yes, do you remember the date and so on? A little? So, before we arrive to the first site, we are going to make a little summary of the two first years of the war to understand why the Battle of the Somme took place here in 1960. The 1st of July, 9 miles like this one were blown just before the offensive. So they were prepared by the British Army. In fact, the mine warfare was used by each army. It consists to dig underneath tunnel and to put explosive underneath the enemy line. And so the British were at 300 meters from here, the British front line, and the soldiers were here were professional miners. So they know how to dig a tunnel and to put explosive underneath. So they did it and put a 10-ton of explosive underneath the German line, which were exactly where the crater is today. They first clean the ground from shells, pickets, armament and so on. And after they have to fill in the trenches and the shell crater, and only after rebuild their houses. British cemeteries, the headstones are symbolized with a white cross, and in the German one with a black cross. Where you have British cemeteries or memorial, you have to know that both pieces of land were given by the French government to the country who fought here in 1960. So when you enter in the British cemetery, you are not in France anymore, but symbolically in the country from where the regiment fought here in 1960. The German cemetery, when you have one on, we don't have one on the two, but when you visit one German cemetery, it seems very small compared to the number of soldiers buried in it, because France didn't offer land to the Germans, so they have to buy it, and it was very expensive for them because economically speaking, they have no more money. Animals are always facing the enemy. So when you are in front of such memorial, you know where was the British line and where was the German line. At the bottom of the memorial, you have some bronze plate with names engraved on them. They are men who have none engraved. So some of them are buried in British cemeteries with a headstone and the inscription, a soldier of the Great War, but some of them are still buried on the battlefield. So you have 800 names of Newfoundland names. 3 different plaques, one for the men who were part of the mercantile marine, another one with deeper, but the original one, they are here for 90 years now, and so they became smaller. But in 1916, they were about 2 and 3 meters deep. And you remark, they are digging in zigzag.
Yeah.
So do you know why? Have you an idea of it?
Yes.
Why they did it like this? Because it will be easier for them to make them straight. You don't have an idea of why they did it like this?
Stop shell fire, isn't it?
Yes, to stop shell fire and also to avoid enfilading shots. Imagine a German wanted in the British line, if all the soldiers are in a line, soldier can kill everybody at the same time. But here the curve of the trench protects the soldier. Because it was more dangerous place on this battlefield. Imagine a little how was the German line. If you follow the line of tree, you see that the German line made like a half circle, and after keep on going on the opposite way. And throughout this half circle, the German put their machine gun everywhere. So at different places of the battlefield, you had like a crossing fire with no way to cross. And this emplacement marked the foundation of the British Army the Schwaben Redoute, and 10,000 German soldiers could live underneath. In fact, you had 25 underground streets with an hospital, an officer quarter, and rooms where the German soldiers were protected from shelling and from mud and so on. And even after the war, man reformed water canalization arriving in this the bigger British memorial commemorating World War I for all the missing soldiers. So we are going to park on the parking place, and you follow me. We immediately go to the memorial and going to give you explanations there. And after you will have 5 or 10 minutes to look at the center. it's completely ruined. Only the entrance is still existing. And so Pozia was also famous in September 1916 because of the apparition of the first tanks. The first tanks were British tanks. They were called Mark I, and there were 32 on their line of departure, but only 9 tanks reached the village of Pozia, because a lot were out of order immediately after some meters. Others were too heavy, and so when they fell in big holes, they went out. And the driver of the first tank had only 2 tiny sensors in front of the tank and had no view on the battlefield.
Un baguette. Un baguette.
Un cafe.
Fantastic.
Now here's the thing, right? Eddie just got served, and he did speak in French, but he got English back. I just got served, I spoke in French, and I got French back. Does that mean she thought I was French? Or does that mean she hated me? These things are mysteries we will never learn. Like the 2 Essex ladies with the trolley stacked full of beer who went through the revolving door, laughing and jamming everything, when there was a pair of normal doors right next to it. Crazy mysteries of which we shall never know the answer. It is 20 past 8 French time and 20 past 7 English time. We're actually waiting at the Channel Tunnel at Calais to go back. I'm having a coffee. Expensive. Returning to the coach. Much better out here. All these people have been thrown off the coach for swearing. They're going to stand against the wall till the head teacher comes.
En cas d'urgence, veuillez toujours suivre les instructions de sécurité diffusées par haut-parleur, affichées sur les écrans d'information ou données par l'équipage. En cas d'incident détecté dans votre compartiment, vous entendrez ce signal.
It's not the most beautiful sight in the world. Oh, someone started.
We're leaving on a jet plane, except it's not.